bring you the program Security Watch Africa, where we discuss and talk security. Security, it's said to be everybody's business. We all must put hands together to ensure the security of lives and property of everybody. Welcome to the program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambo. Today we have a mixture of a lot of things. We'll be talking about the Nigerian army. We'll be talking about the police in Abia State, with what the governor of Abia State is doing, and also in Delta State. But first, I want to start with this not too sweet of a news that Nigeria lost 4 of its gallant 3 soldiers and 1 officer yesterday in planted IED along Alagona Road in Borno State. Is a sad incident because this was the road we passed a few days ago. But this brings to mind that government must do all things necessary to protect and provide, make life much better for the people. Those roads are filled with potholes. We have the visuals of those potholes we recorded, and the fear is that those potholes can easily be used by these terrorists, these insurgents, to plant IEDs on the road, and as soon as any vehicle passes that road or step on that IED, it goes up in flame. And that is what has happened, and that Nigeria has lost 4 gallant soldiers. It's quite sad. We are calling on all government that is necessary, that is saddled with the responsibility of maintaining roads, to please make it as part of the emergency relief measure to fix those roads, because those roads are causing a lot of problem, especially in the northeast. Not only that insurgents can plant the IEDs there, as soon as a vehicle approaches those potholes, as soon as you slow down, when you slow down, this insurgent can attack easily and affect, as like the incident that happened a few days ago where a convoy was attacked. This is the situation that is playing out. We are begging the government, federal government, and the various state governments responsible to please try to make these roads much better, so that we will not be losing lives so easily like this. It's sad. That also brings me to the clips we have. We visited the military cemetery in Yola, particularly in the 23 Brigade Yola, where we saw the grave of our gallant officers. It was quite, how would I call it, a solemn time for the Security Watch Africa when we got there, because there lies our gallant officers. And sit back as we bring you what we saw there. Here lies a patriotic Nigerian, just like many of his colleagues in the fight and battle to keep Nigerians safe and secure. These officers gave their life that you and I will remain safe. So many times, Nigerian military officers go to war to ensure that the life and property of Nigerians are secured. But to what does that benefit? It is to make Nigeria safer and a better place for you and I. Here are the heroes of Nigeria who deserve to be remembered very often. We must commend the leadership of the Nigerian Army for making sure that the families of these officers who lie here are not forgotten. We want to ask that every Nigerian, wherever you are, must remember our fallen heroes today and always. This is a memory of gallant Nigerian Army officers and men that died in several operations. These ones died along Ezige Damboa attack, the Ezige Damboa Road attack on this date, 12th February 2014. This Yamanteke, an ambush on 12th May 2014. Garkida attack on 27th July 2014. And the Mankara to Goza Road attack on 7th August 2014. These are gallant Nigerian soldiers. May their soul rest in peace. And here is a freshly buried officer. Well done. Well done. He was buried today. Corporal Babangida, rest in perfect peace. Rest in perfect peace. It's quite sad, but life must go on. These officers, their death will definitely not be in vain because the fight against insurgency must be won. We all must put hands together to ensure that the lives of these officers do not just go in vain. We must commend the Nigerian Army once again for documenting this and making us to remember that there are people who daily fight to make sure that Nigeria remains safe. It's sad. There are so many clips we have which we'll be bringing you. There's also the War Museum and also the cemetery for equipment. That is one that will gladden most of our hearts to see that what Nigeria Army recovered from these insurgents after they liberated so many communities. That will bring you in subsequent edition of this program. But let's go to at least something cheerful. We can talk about what is happening in some states of Nigeria, talking about policing. Police is said to be the lead agency in internal security. And some states in Nigeria that are actually doing what they should do to protect lives and property. Let's go to Delta State. Delta State, the Commissioner of Police there, CP Sana Ibrahim and his men are doing yeoman's job to ensure that the hitherto state that is known for crime and criminality is checked and people can go about their business. Sit back as we bring you a visit to Delta State.
The communities are already getting used to us. By the time that we are not there by now, they will feel there's a difference. Maybe so?
Yes, sir.
Good. So we'll continue to do what we are doing. But what is important is we should be as much as possible be civil. Since we started this exercise in December, we have never had a single complaint. And that is the spirit, and that's what I want you to sustain. So as we go out today, it is still the same procedure and the same process, even though with a difference. Because we want to showcase what we are doing in Delta State to ensure that lives and property remain secured. It's not indifferent. It's still the same thing that we have been doing that we'll do today. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
We'll go right to Ibuzo, Opanam, come back to Okwe, and the same route, and come back to base. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
Okay.
We!
Oh, sorry!
Hey!
Oh, sorry!
Hey!
Sorry! Okay, hold on.
Hey! 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 That's it!
Sir, I have your permission to carry on convoy patrols.
Allah ice! Okay, the two sections. The two sections. The two fronts. The two.
The orientation matters. When I came in, I noticed that people are not ready to follow to toe my line. I said, okay, if that is the case, let me establish an outfit that will be directly answerable to me. I beckoned on the governor, and he obliged me 10 patrol vehicles, brand new patrol vehicles. I also talked to the Inspector General of Police, who approved a unit for me from outside of this locality. And these are the people you are talking about. So they are new, they have not been corrupted, they have not been prostituted. We don't keep them for too long. They are here, they work for us. After 3 months, they go back. The last one we had were from Yobe. We have another one now from Bayelsa, and we keep rotating them. And I can bet you that we have sanitized Warri because of their presence there, because Warri has always been at the center of the storm. Once you sanitize Warri axis, Delta will generally be calm and quiet. So when I posted them to Warri, they have achieved a great deal. They have arrested a lot of armed robbers. They have recovered a lot of arms and a lot of bunkerers. Bunkering activity, with also in synergy with sister agencies, has gone down. I'm sure you know about that. It has gone down a great deal, and that is why everything is appreciating now. And we intend to even expand it further when the economy of the state improves. We'll get them more vehicles and get them more manpower.
You know, the police, they do work both in the night or in the daytime. Exactly, that patrol was about 10 p.m. all through the night, patrolling the streets of major streets of Asaba, the capital, Ibuzo, close by there, Agbo, Warri, and Saple. Those Aziz. It's every evening, every night they go on such patrol. That's the reason why the rate of crime in Delta State has reduced. We must say kudos to the Delta State Commissioner and his men for doing yeoman's job there, and we hope that they will continue with it, making sure that Nigerians can sleep with their two eyes closed. Let's go to another state that is working. It's called the God's own state, a state that is known for industry and known for vibrancy. I'm talking about Abia State. We were in Abia State where we spoke with the chief security officer of that state, who is also the governor, and also the commissioner of police, CP Leya Oyebade, who has done marvelously well there, and he's still eager to do much, much better. Let's see what happened in Abia State.
I've had to deal with a few police helmsmen, but I find the present inspector is a very, very responsive person. On my way to China, I placed a call across to him and said, "Sir, I'm battling with some very serious security challenge and I need you to assist." And in 24 hours, he landed 180 men in Abia. It can't be better than that. And I recommend his dedication and commitment to the security and peaceful coexistence of this country, to all officers and in fact public servants. If we show a fraction of that level of commitment, things will be better. Speaking specifically about Abia State, I think that Abia is moving from one level to the next in terms of the positive direction. Because what has always worked for us here is bringing stakeholder engagement into policing, because we think that from the outset, no policeman knows it all from beginning to end. So there is need to build confidence among the people, and then for the people to respond by giving pieces of information. Incidentally, Nigerians are vendors of miracle. They love to see things. They like to see signs and wonders before they respond. So fortunately for us, the Nigerian police has successfully cracked in Abia mainly 70% of the violent crimes that has happened in the past few weeks, and the people have responded by trusting them more, welcoming them more, so that the eminent persons for stakeholder engagement meetings has yielded results. Recall that Abia is one of the least states where you hear stories about herdsmen and farmers. It is not because we don't have herdsmen here, but we created a conflict resolution committee from the local government area, so that at the local government area, the Miati Allah, the head of the Hausa community in that area, the traditional ruler, the DPO, civil defense, and all that, all security agencies are part of that, plus my special advisor for security in that local government. So that if there's an interface or a brush, we can come in at that point to see how we can arrest it before it begins to escalate. And then at the state level, the major committee is headed by the CP, and then the DSS is there, and my special advisor of security at the state level is there also. And the idea is to bring everybody on the table and let's begin to talk about it. It has yielded result because the herdsman knows that there's a place he can run to, and people will listen. And then the farmer also knows that all is not lost, assuming cattle damages is found, and there's a place he can run to. So I think that the strategy to involve and engage stakeholders in policing has yielded great results in Abia. There cannot be zero situation for crime, but we are moving towards a near zero situation. I think is achievable. And also pioneering the new paradigm of development called Made in Aba. Now it is Make in Aba, because we have gone beyond just the Made in Aba thing, and we're saying come and make it in Aba. And this is our salutary effort in recognition of the can-do spirit of the average Nigerian youth. It's not all about the geographical entity called Aba. It's about the new paradigm in Nigeria now. Can we be proud of what we produce? Can we eat, dress, speak indigenously? Can we have more respect and regard for one another? Can we respect the professional attributes of one another? Can we make do with what we can produce with our hands? This is the only way we can sustain development, because you cannot sustain development by leveraging what is happening in other clients. You must be able to look inwards and to deal with what you have with pride. With pride. Should there be mistakes or gaps that needs to be filled? Yes, why not? Because Rome was not built in a day, but you must take the first step in the right direction. That is the entire story of Made in Aba. In an economy undergoing recession, the cheap thing to do is to plan in the long run. And to plan in the long run is to do roads that will outlive your tenure. Because if you borrow to do roads now and you borrow to repair, you have set up a vicious circle. So we are doing roads that will at least outlive this tenure. The average lifespan of the roads we tend to do is at least 20 years. And so that leaves us with no option at all than to do the cement pavement technology. And it has worked. As I speak, it has become a policy now. That is some parts of the state, especially the areas that are prone to flooding. It must be. The road must come with 100% drainage, end to end. Cement pavement technology, and then asphalt and street lights.
So for now, I want to say that we've been able to curtail the excesses of the hoodlums when it comes to heinous crime to a very reasonable level. What we've been doing is to make sure that when we arrest them in the act of kidnapping, it is to send signal to the upcoming ones that it is not profitable to go into kidnapping again. We want to make ransom taking and ransom giving unprofitable. So by the time we arrest, by the time we do diligent prosecution, then we would have been able to showcase that this is a state that should be no-go area to kidnapping. Yes, we just upgraded our security architecture also by the creation of a tactical response squad. This tactical response squad, we have been able to deploy them to all the nooks and crannies of the state. And what we're doing is to increase police presence. So it's a kind of visibility policing. We're trying to be more proactive rather than being reactive. We're trying to be more of preventive policing. We now go around, talk to members of the public, counsel all those that are stakeholders, the traditional rulers and all other people that are in the eminent persons group as created by the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Ibrahim K. Idris, MPM, MNI. So we're using all these stakeholders to get information to now reassure members of the public. So I call it also reassurance policing. We have our safe highways also on the highway. So it's a collective effort of all these that have been able to let us have the template that we are using to regulate heinous crime. And when it comes to the issue of the herdsmen and farmers disputes, we've had series of meetings with them, town halls meeting, and each time we have communique that comes out, and we use that as a regulatory mechanism to curtail their excesses. And when they do have this conflict, we bring them together to dialogue and resolve it using alternative dispute resolution techniques. So I want to say that in terms of heinous crime, we've been able to curtail it to a very reasonable extent. In the metropolis that business should thrive like Aba, so we want to assure Abians that they will still continue to enjoy the safety of the environment as we've been able to put to a stop, to a halt to the activities of the hoodlums. Mind you, the escape and the entry routes that the criminals normally use is where we have put our operational stop and search points. So these operational stop and search points are the ones that we use to checkmate their excesses. If peradventure there is a kidnap at point A, before they're able to get to point A, B, C, D, E, we're expecting that they would have been nipped in the bud. And the last one that happened, when it happened in Aba, as they were trying to escape through the OGUs of Kalu Bridge, our police officers there intercepted them, rescued them, and we arrested the criminals. So we want to make sure that our response time to distress call is greatly improved upon. And that's why each time I go out, I circulate the information on how they can get us on these numbers. So we've circulated these numbers that are the control room numbers, and people are using them. And more importantly, I have a number that is CP emergency number for text messages. So I encourage them, don't put your name, just give me the information. And these have helped us greatly because information is key. Information is what we use. We process it to intelligence and we use it to take the battle to the doorstep of the criminals. We now use it to raid the criminal hideouts, get them. Some of them don't even know how we get at them. And sometimes at the planning stage, because we now have the hoteliers that are with us. So while they are even planning in some of these hotels, we arrest them because we have arrangements. So it's a lot of cooperation from other stakeholders, I must admit, because policing is everybody's business. I want to thank Abians that have been cooperating with us and for what we've been able to do so far with the tactical response code. We want to sustain it, we want to maintain it, we want to continue to make sure that Abia State remains relatively crime-free. So it's a matter of time.
That is a pledge from the Commissioner of Police, Abia State, CP Leye Oyebade. They want to make sure that Abia State remain crime-free. And most several, they have done that to a large extent. Abia State is free, peaceful for people to do business. No wonder industry is thriving now. Congratulations to the police in Abia State and the government of Abia State for what they're doing. Until we come your way again next week, I would say remain blessed and bye for now.